Okay, so today I wanted to show you how to properly format and set up a Google document. Now, a lot of times in my class we'll be using Google Classroom, but sometimes I'll ask you to type a document and share it with me, and it's important that you know how to set that up. So the first thing you need to do is just go to your Google Drive. Now, if you're not sure how to do that, a simple way is to start by just going to Google, and you can either click on this matrix and select Drive, or you can actually just go to googledrive.com. Okay? So then you're going to log in. If you've logged in on that computer before, it might just, your name might appear. If not, there will be an option to log in using your Mounds View email address. Okay, and that's your Google account. So I already have one. I'm just going to type in my password, and now I'm signed into my Google Drive. So to create a document, you're going to go over to the left here and click New, and then go down to where it says Google Docs. So you're going to create a new Google Doc. Every time I start a new Google Doc, the first thing I do is change the title of the document. So up here it says Untitled Document, and I want to click Rename. You can just click on Untitled Document and it'll take you to this. So I'm going to delete. Okay, and now this is kind of a pet peeve of mine. I get a lot of students who will share documents with me, and when I look in my drive and see a shared document, it's very difficult for me to know right away whose it is if they don't put their name in the title document. So for my class, I'm going to require that you begin by typing your last name. So my last name is Barvitsky. Remember, you want to start your last name with a capital letter because it's a proper noun. If you're uncertain how to type a capital letter, all you have to do is hold down that Shift key on the left-hand side of your keyboard and hit the letter, and that'll make it capital. Okay, so I'm going to start by typing my last name and then my first name. After my name is there, I'm going to put the title of the document. Now, this year we'll be typing something, or we'll be writing memoirs, and so I'm going to call this my memoir. So Barvitsky Jessica Memoir. Then I'm going to click OK. And now my title is up here. Now, obviously, if this wasn't my memoir, I would call it Barvitsky Jessica and whatever the name of that assignment is. And, you know, different teachers might have you do this different ways, but this is how I like it done for my class. So now I titled my document, and then the next thing I'm going to do is create a heading for my page. All right, so I'm actually going to type my name again. And then I'm going to hit the Enter or Return key. I'm going to write my period number. So period, if you have me, you know, for period 2, 3, type that. Then I'm going to hit Enter again and write the date. Now, oftentimes I see sixth graders kind of make some little mistakes when typing the dates. So you start obviously with the month, and you're going to capitalize that. So it is August. Today is August, it is August 10th, so I'm going to put a 10, then I'm going to put a comma, space, 2015. All right, now it's sort of standard to have your heading actually at the top right-hand corner, and you want the left side here all lined up. So I'm going to tab over until I can't tab over anymore. So I've gone too far, so I'm going to delete the last tab. Now when I say tab, I'm referring to a key on the left-hand side of your keyboard that says tab. All right, because if you just space over, first of all, it's going to take you a really long time. And second of all, see, this isn't quite even here, but it sort of looks even. You really want to have everything pretty perfectly aligned. So now I'm going to tab over period 2, 3. I'm going to tab over my date. Okay, now I'm going to go to the end of my heading and hit Enter, and see it automatically lined it up. To get it back to the left, your cursor I'm referring to right here, all you're going to do is hit Delete, One more time and it takes you all the way to the left. Now I'm going to hit enter again to leave a space. And now it's time for me to write the title of my document. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to write my story about moving to Minnesota. So in my title, I'm going to call it Moving to Minnesota. All right, now when you type a title, you want to capitalize the first letter of each word, unless it's usually a two-letter word or the word the. Sometimes those won't be capitalized in titles. All right, now I'm going to highlight my title. So to highlight my title, I'm going to click on it, hold my click down, and then I'm going to drag, and that highlights it. Now I want to actually center my title. So the way I'm going to center it is by going up right here and clicking this center icon, I guess you could call it. All right, so now my title is good. I'm ready to start typing my essay. So I'm going to hit enter again, and then I like to leave a little space after the title, so I'm going to hit enter again. Now you'll notice that my cursor is in the middle of the screen, but I want it over here on the left. So I'm going to go up here and click this left align button. All right, now the only other thing you need to do before you start typing your first paragraph is you need to indent, because you always indent at the beginning of a paragraph. So I'm going to hit that tab key. All right, now remember, to indent, you do not use the space bar. You're going to use the tab key. Okay, so now it's time to write my first sentence. Since this is just an example for you, I'm not actually going to type my story. I am going to write my first, just an example sentence. So I would type my first sentence here. Then I'm going to put a period at the end of my sentence. Notice I started my sentence with a capital letter. All right. I know this seems kind of obvious, but make sure after you put a period at the end of the sentence, you hit the space bar. Okay, so I would type my first sentence here, then I would write my second sentence. After that, I would write my third sentence. I would continue writing the rest of my paragraph. After I finished, it would be time to begin my second paragraph. Okay, period. Now it's time for you to start writing your second paragraph. So you're going to hit the enter or return key. Sometimes it's called different things on different keyboards. And I hit the enter key, and then I'm going to tab over again. Always remember to indent at the beginning of each paragraph. My second paragraph would go here. Okay? The last thing I want to show you about the document is how to double space it. A lot of times teachers will say, make sure your document is double spaced. And the reason why it's helpful to have a document that's double spaced is because it just makes it easier for the reader. And also, if it's something that someone might print off and write comments about, there's more space to write if it's double spaced, okay? So the way to double space is to highlight your text. Now, I'm not going to double space anything up here with my heading. My name, period, date, and title. I'm just going to double space my actual piece of writing. So I'm going to highlight it. And remember, to highlight, you just click at the beginning and drag your cursor or your mouse over to the end of your writing or whatever you want double spaced. And then I'm going to go up to this button right here. And when I hover my mouse over, it actually says line spacing. So I'm going to click on that. Right now it's single space. There are some smaller options if you want to take it to 1.5, but usually a teacher will ask you to double space it. So I'm going to click that, and it spaces out all my writing for me. Okay? The last thing I want to show you with a Google Doc is how to share it with your teacher. So when you're ready for your teacher to start reading it, you're going to go up to this blue share button. Right now it's private, so I'm the only one who can read this document when I'm logged in to my Google account. But to share it with someone else, for instance, if you want to share it with a friend so they can edit it for you or help you read it and give you comments, if you want to share it with a teacher so they can grade it, maybe you want to share it with your parents so they can read it. But I'm just going to click the blue share button, and then I'm going to enter the email address of the person that I want to share it with. Now, I'm your teacher, so if it's a document for my class, you'd share it with me. So you can start by typing my first name, which is Jessica, and most likely it'll pop up right at the top. If not, you can just continue typing my name, jessica.barvitsky@moundsviewschools.com, but if it did appear, you can just click on it. You have a couple options here. Right now it says can edit. That means that when you share your document with me, I can actually change things about it. Now, as your teacher, I probably would never do that. I would give you comments and have you change it or edit it yourself. But right now, if I wanted to, I could go into your document and delete the whole thing, or I could change one of your sentences or something. So you can always leave it on that. Just know that whoever you shares it with can change it. If you don't want them to have that ability, you can change it to can comment. If you change it to can comment, that means your reader can leave you little notes that'll appear kind of beside your writing. They can highlight things and stuff like that. And then you can go in and reply to their comments or delete their comments. If you don't want them to be able to comment, just say can view. As your teacher, I'd like you to always leave it at least can comment. If you put can edit, that's fine. I won't edit it, but I probably will comment. But you want to definitely at least put can comment. Now, if you want to add a note, that means that when you share your document with me, I'll get an email and it'll be a little note from you. So maybe you want to say, Miss Barvitsky, let's see, I know this is a week early, but I was wondering if you could take a look at it and give me some feedback. Thanks. You do not have to leave a note though, unless there's something that you want to tell me. After that, you'll click send, and I'll receive an email that notifies me that you've shared your document with me. I believe that is everything I wanted to tell you about how to properly format a Google document in my class and how to share it with me. Some of your teachers might require slightly different things in their heading or in the way you title your document, but this should be a pretty good reference for you on how to properly create and format a Google Doc. So thanks for listening. Please email me or talk to me in class if you have any questions.